All right. Let's go ahead and bring it back. Here,
let's talk
because
some
soccer.
positives for San Diego FC. They won this weekend
Yeah,
against Austin,
good win.
a team that they struggled with earlier in the season, lost to earlier in the season, and this time the starting 11 also looked a little different.
All right, so let's look at the starting 11 a little bit, because as you mentioned, Chiva, the main part is that Sverskov is out. Here's the story with that. Nobody
Very
knew he
funny.
was going to be out.
Yes.
Nobody knew. I actually received a couple text messages leading up to from people that were working for the club, and is like, "Hey, did you see where this yellow card happened?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "No, he's out for yellow card accumulation." And people within the club before the match, I'm like, "Hey, so when did this happen?"
Yeah,
They're
everyone
like,
was confused. It was
"No
pretty
idea."
funny. Like just like because generally I think information people within clubs always want to know answers to your questions, and when they don't know, they get frustrated. So they're just all like, everyone was like, "What the hell happened?" No one could tell. No one could find video. The official match report, I think, said that he got a yellow card for dissension,
probably, and I could see that being on the way to the tunnel, on the way to.
But in the 82nd minute, that's what it said.
To
in the 82nd minute, he got dissent.
Well, he dissented and got himself a yellow card, missed this last game. And so then you start the question, and we got Aníbal Godoy in pre-match of media availability. And he talked a little bit about, what it means to just kind of step into that role. And good question from our buddy. Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños, Amor Villa. That, he tends to sometimes in Panama play in the side that Yepes Sverskov is actually the one that's taken over his side, but because he's the captain, he takes precedent, so he's able to move over to the left side. This time, you just have to slide Godoy a little bit, and pretty much you kind of have this chance where Aníbal steps into Godoy's role. And so now you have a double kind of similar player, almost like a before and after, right? I see Alvarado and Godoy are very similar in the way that they play, but just like one is the younger version of the other. And I could see the development going into Godoy just by pure virtue of the way they play hard. They have a little bit of just that tenacity, and they just try to make these incredible plays and goals that, are coming out of nowhere. You mentioned that you lead that earlier, but yeah, here's the starting lineup.
Can I add something to?
Yes, you can.
First bug being out, right? Like looking at the MLS like suspension rule. So player gets 5 yellow cards, $250 fine, and a suspension from their next MLS regular season match. The player accrues an additional 3 yellow cards after that, so 8 total, $500 fine, and another suspension for their next match. They get another 3 after that, 11 total, $750 fine, and another suspension. 13 total, $1,000 fine, another match on. Every 2 yellow cards after that, it's a $2,000 fine, and then next match suspended.
So, I doubt you reach that point, especially they're already 17 games into the season, so it'll be tough to reach that. I think Aníbal actually has 5 yellow cards now.
Aníbal accrued his 5th one this last game, so he will be missing.
So Alvarado will be in for.
Esteban, this is exactly what everybody was saying. Like Yepe has 4 yellow cards.
If you Google it says he has 4 yellow cards.
It says 4 yellow cards, 100%. But officially, according to MLS, he has 5. So if there's good news with this, is that hey, you got to rest Yepe for once. He got to sit out at a full 90. He's been going at it the entire season. And also you get to clear those yellow cards now. Like, right, it's a very important time coming up. He's not going to be playing international breaks. That's an important component that you're going to keep in the midfield. And even if you have a skeleton team, I think you still have Sverskov to be able to pull the strings enough to, really put whoever's going to be in that lineup into a good position. So yeah, it's a really weird thing that happened. Willie was missing that anyways with Gold Cup. Yeah, I mean,
technically they can't use that as his suspension though, right? Because he's technically away with the national team.
I think it puts it on hold. Yeah. Unless
he like fake comes back and is not with Panama. I don't know. FIFA's weird with that. I doubt that he'll be able to serve the suspension until he comes back from the Gold Cup.
Look, Josue, I don't have confirmation. I don't believe Yepes Sverskov made it up to the 200 section and joined the brawl. And you know what? If that's the case, free Yepe, free Sverskov. A lot of the fans, supporters, hey, Maybe it was Yepe in a Cirilo mask. Who knows? With any case, the lineup again here: Dos Santos, the Eternal, now getting himself that extended contract. Lucas Bombino, the McDefense, with Patty McNair and Patty McNair and Chris McVeigh, and Verhoeven, Godoy, Luca de la Torre, who was a player that, again, we've been asking a lot more from. And I think we've been pushing in terms of like, hey, you're supposed to be on loan from Europe. You're now called up to the national team. Let's see some production. And he's been producing for sure. Up on top, you have Lozano on the left, Dreyer on the right, and then down the middle, once again, called up for the Finnish national team today, Oni Valakari, which I know a lot of people around town, around San Diego FC fandom and just followers are absolutely tired of having Oni Valakari there, if not tired of Milan not starting, or a Tomas Angel for whatever reason. These are your two striker options that you're not using as strikers, so what gives?
I think that's a very fair question, and honestly, at this point, I think we can ask that of Mikey. We didn't get the chance to ask that this weekend. I think we can do that on the weekday, but it's weird. Like Valakari is a good player. I just don't think the 9 is his position. Like he's a midfielder. He's tried to do better in this 9 position, but he hasn't really been able to produce. And like Milanolasky has been amazing off the bench. He's scoring these like perfect goal, like the prototypical striker is what Milanolasky is. But can he do that over a full 90? They haven't given him the chance to. I think he might get the chance in this friendly against America, which is going to be a major opportunity for him. But if you move Valakari even to one of the wings or you put him back in the midfield, I think it'll look a lot better. Iloski has been great, but if he's performing so well as a substitute, maybe you kind of have to keep using him as a substitute.
Isn't his loan technically up?
End of July.
End of July. So he's got 2 more months here.
That's correct. Another thing too. Why would you potentially hurt the feelings of one of your players that's going to be with you over the rest of the year and pay potentially future if you're going to end up having to send Milanolasky back?
Because Chucky Lozano's injured and you need attackers. What?
I would want to say that the only reason Milanolasky hasn't been starting is because of that, right? He's on loan. He's like probably if they happen to extend him at the end of the season, I think we probably will start seeing him in the starting 11. Maybe until Embarkson gets rhythm again, because he did come back in this game as well, and we'll touch on that later. Looking at the MLS page, Spurs Cup does have yellow cards on here, 5 yellow cards.
But if you Google it, it says 4. Which
MLS stats over Google stats.
Yes, it's weird.
I don't know. You let me know.
I trust nothing. But yeah, so now again, the thing I think you're on, and I think I mentioned as well that Milan Iloski is better off the bench right now. So why mess with what's working at this point? And it's been a winning strategy. I did ask him about that in the post-match press conference, Milan Iloski, about his potential negotiation coming into the loan spell being over. So we'll get to that here in a bit. And I mean, he currently has he's number 1 in goals per minute in MLS in the whole league. He's actually leading the league in that. So doing very well. So it's working out there. For this Austin game, which by the way, I will mention, as well as Abe can attest, and Chiva, again, we're catching you up. Per sources, this is the best Snapdragon surface that we've had in a while.
It looked really good, yeah. They even put some new dirt grass in front of the goalkeeper, right? You can see it right there in the video, but it looked pretty good. Like, I think there was not really any complaints. Didn't really see that much sand. It seems like the grow lights are working. Maybe it's the heat coming back. Maybe it's the summer, as we see Alvarado take one of the most beautiful shots we've seen.
Literally in this play, like right before this play, I was like, man, Alvarado's just not good to be a starter. And then he almost scores this potential goal of the week nominee. Con La Espinilla. Like, that would have been sick if that, like, up there again with Cristiano Ronaldo's Champions League bicycle kick, but if it would have gone in. But again, you like seeing them play and try these chances. And for the whole game, really, San Diego FC dominated the game.
Austin didn't really bring anything on offense. Here, Dreyer getting a bouncing chance and going off the Spinilla, going off the shin, just not getting on the good end of that. But they keep playing. They were dominating possession, 67% possession in the first half, and even in the beginning. And they just kept playing the way that we've been told that they're going to do things. They're just going to go ahead and tire you out. And again, why is only Valacari up there? It's because the way San Diego FC plays is that if you've noticed, a lot of their offense, as you're seeing here, 44th minute in the first half, a lot of their offense comes towards the end of the half. So they have to tire out that defense. You need a big body up top that's wearing down and giving space between the midfield and the defender. So you need a big body to just be in there and tire them out. That way you have Milan Iloski, who's a little smaller, quicker, who can get behind the lines, just get those different looks and just slip past, and nobody's paying attention to him because they're looking for a 6'2" Valacari. They find a Milan Iloski or somebody else in there. But here you see CJ Dos Santos, a great stop by La Foto. CJ, who attacked me with a hug or a dap up post-match in front of SDFC officials. Chicharito goal almost happened.
Trying his best. At this point, I mean, I don't know why he was asking for a penalty, to be honest. It didn't seem like he got pushed. Nobody touched them. I think he just got a bad touch there. But
I think he really fired the team up just because a lot of them thought maybe he got clipped there. And then you see this moment just a minute later. Like Patty McNair with a great service into Chucky Lozano. Then Chucky, just the right amount of patience to draw defenders in, leaving De La Torre wide open in the middle, putting up a perfect shot. But like, look at this pass from Patty McNair.
All right.
It's quite the pass.
It's Rafa Marquez-esque. If you're familiar with the great Mexican center back who played over in Barcelona, like this was the bread and butter here all the way over. He recognizes the run. Chucky Lozano doing the diagonal play, a great control with the chest, and then he sets himself up. Everybody in the stadium knew he was going to cross chop this into the middle. But then this is where the question starts for the defenders. What is he going to do? Is he going to go ahead and curl it with his left foot right there? He has a look. He has a chance. They're going to go ahead and maybe try to close the defender on the left, try to go to the right, the defender on the right, try to close to the left. Slight hesitation. He's opening us up. Somebody's running behind. They still need to cover the left in case he cuts back out. And instead of going with the run, Chucky is extra patient. Takes an extra second to look up. De La Torre. That's where you'll find him. That's where he's been taking shots. Apunta, fuego.
And then also De La Torre's, like Esteban says, right? The composure, right? I mean, this is a thing that put it on his right foot so he can shoot it first touch, but puts it on his left. He still makes a stop, has time to shoot. It was a perfect play from Chucky and De La Torre, and that connection was beautiful to watch. And again, De La Torre delivering on the type of player that he's supposed to be, right? We talk about him not being a stat player, but over the last couple of weeks, he's definitely been proving himself, getting goal contributions, which is why he's got called up with Pochettino's national team.
Yeah. And we're here saying, hey, why didn't Austin press? I think because the teams that have been successful against San Diego FC don't press as much. They give them space to think about it, and they work on the counter. It worked the first game against San Diego FC, where Austin ended up winning at home, where they were able to be productive on the counterattack. But to be completely honest, out of what's 45 times 3?
135.
130.
Out of 135 out of the last 180 minutes played between Austin and San Diego, Austin's only been good for the first 45. Because after that, San Diego has really squashed them in terms of dominating possession, dominating the game. They lost against Austin, but that second half was much better by San Diego. Coming over here, they pick up right where they left off, and Austin tried to do the same formula, but it just didn't end up working for them.
Brandon Vasquez looked sad out there. I don't know if they had a lot of shots. Like, genuinely speaking, like, dude, like, he's one of those strikers that, like, he's so dynamic, and when he gets service, it's just dangerous. Like, it doesn't even have to be the best service. Like, if you just get him the ball behind a defensive line, he's gonna be a problem. And they just like barely wanted to pass to him. He looked like completely alone out there. I don't know if I don't know if they had any camera shots of this, Chiva, because you were watching at home, but like, did he look like he just like completely neutralized in this game?
Yeah, no, it did. And I mean, I think Brandon Vasquez over the last couple games, he's definitely been proving himself of being a $10 million player with Austin. Like, I think especially in the Open Cup, he's been scoring a lot of goals, and recently, like, you hear his name more often around the league, right? But I think San Diego FC did a good job at, like you said, neutralizing him this game. I mean, you kept a clean sheet. Like, that's CJ Dos Santos, what, 7th clean sheet? I'm not sure the exact number, but it's up there.
He's in the elite.
Like, at this point, like, you get the contract extension. Where do you rank CJ Dos Santos amongst the goalkeepers in the league? Is he top 5, top 3?
Top 3. I think right now, top 3.
I think he's earned that. Like, I know you maybe some people maybe hesitant to say, oh, whoa, like, this kid is top 3. You have Hugo Lloris. Like, this dude is a better goalkeeper than Hugo Lloris right now.
100 in MLS, yes.
In MLS,
in
yeah.
MLS.
Yeah.
I still think Zach Steffen for sure number 1, but he is just great, and he can control the ball with his feet too.
And he has every excuse to give up a goal because his heat map is insane. He's not in goal. He's not in his area. Like, he's out there getting the balls, passing out, 7 clean sheets. Vasquez couldn't bully McNair like he did with Ian Pilcher 100%. That's the difference, right? We haven't seen Ian Pilcher since that game against Austin, where, you know, he adjusted in the second half, but now there's better options. Patty McNair, that was the game actually where Godoy was out because of international duty, and Patty McNair was out for international duty. So you had to play Patty McNair and a green Alvarado as well. But yeah, 100%. That's another side of the things where we were at training and we heard CJ Dos Santos say, like, and I really liked it, the goalkeeper response, that it all starts with me. Like, the success of the team, it all starts with me, the goalkeeper, because the ball comes out for me. So my team trusts me to be able to have that safety blanket on with my legs and just the way that I play, but be able to make the shot. But it all starts with me. And that's very, like, main character by CJ. And as a goal, I back that up.
I think it's the kind of arrogance that you love to see in sports, because sometimes it can, like, hurt a team. You don't really, like, want to see the team player be like, oh, it's all about me. But when a goalkeeper says it, and that's someone that you have to trust kind of with your, like, entire life, especially on defense, hearing him say, like, this is me. Yeah, this is my fault. This is my responsibility. It was cool to hear him say that.
Who's the next extension?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. Let us know who you'd want to get for sure the next extension. By the way, extension doesn't mean sign. So, like, Iloski, no. De La Torre, no, because you'd be assigning. You'd be buying him essentially. Extension.
Bombino, no.
Or Bombino, no. He's on loan. Bombino, who, again, doing the math on how many of these players are going to be out. I believe it's 8. Valacari, McNair, Godoy, Bombino, who got the call up for the U.S. under 20 as well, along with Duran Ferri. Shout out Duran Ferri as well. San Diego Punto Futbol's grade of the week last week. And looking up Chucky.
I think at this point, McVeigh's one of the players that gets extended next.
Man,
I think so.
I love the way McVeigh's playing. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Who else would people want? I mean, I haven't seen enough of Alex Mighton, but people absolutely love.
Godoy's a good shout, but I mean, you also start looking at age. Yeah. So
let's see. Keep it. He'll be called up for the World Cup, 100%. Brandon chose the wrong team. I know 619 Soccer has been saying, like, Brandon would do very well with this team.
Oh yeah, Andres Reyes, ¿qué pedo? Yeah,
he's there.
He's there.
We saw him.
Can you hand me the laptop case, please?
Yeah.
But in any case, thank you. What's it called?
Look at that one.
He is Andres Reyes for sure is there.
He celebrates with the team after.
He celebrates the team after. I will hold this piece of paper, like, where is it?
Yeah, I can see it right there. Go back a little bit.
Still, you don't really need him.
Where is Andres Reyes?
Do you need him though? I think that you can ask that question when maybe you have not McNair, not McNair, McNair and McVeigh. They the Mick Smash Brothers.
Mick Smash Brothers. Andres Garcia
podcast calls them. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, like, so many of these players are on loan. I think Yepe probably is someone that you might want to give an extension to. He's still relatively young and he's your captain. So that's
sure.
Probably the person I would say, because designated players are already signed to longer term deals. So yeah, for me, it's probably Yepe.
Yeah, I agree. They need to sign Bomino and Luca. Only 18 goals again. So this is the third lowest in the Western Conference, which is why they're in first place. Not only because they're playing good defense, but they played some pretty good offense as well. And the game continued this last Sunday, and you know what? There was no point where I saw San Diego FC losing this match in terms of just the control of it. Throughout, you saw players step up, step in. In the post-match talk, Mikey Varas is heard saying like, "Hey, that if you guys keep playing like that, like you guys played extra well. Like you guys played extra well today." And again, back to this whole right to dream thing. I think I retired it, for at least for myself, last week, and without being prompted, Mikey Vadas actually backed me up on that. That they're really coming into their own style, and it's not necessarily the right to dream style anymore. This is San Diego FC style. Like this, that's what this should be called. How does they play? Yeah, it's the right to dream DNA, but it's their new brand of soccer and football that's being manifested here in San Diego.
I think by now it's safe to say that the team found their identity for sure and who they are as a team. And I think everyone is bought into the system. I think a lot of players were still struggling at the beginning of the season, but you look, halfway through the season, San Diego FC, 17 games. There's 17 games left this season. It is insane to say out loud that they're already at this point and they're exceeding all expectations. This is a team where, and I will say this, we kept saying on this podcast, this team is either going to be very good or very bad. It's not going to be a mid-table team. And so far, they're proving to be a contender for the title in MLS playoffs. I saw 619 Soccer earlier saying, oh, not to be that guy, but they haven't played 5 out of the 8 playoff teams in the Western Conference. I mean, at this point, does it matter? You're 17 games in.
They beat LAFC. LAFC is up there. They've beat Seattle.
Yeah.
They've beat that's
I think at this point it's safe to say that San Diego FC can beat anyone and lose to anyone like any other MLS team. and that's just what it is. That's
not a cop out either.
No, and that's just how the league is. Like you lose to Seattle, okay, they're a top 14, but you also beat them already.
That's going to be a good game that I think people are overlooking is San Jose. Just another California team that people usually just overlook because
very well coached
MLS team for sure. And also like San Jose, who cares? You know, you said earlier, who cares about whatever? Like,
I think I'll be at that game.
San Jose
who
is
cares?
a high scoring
in San
team.
Jose. Yeah,
they have a scary attacking. It's just their defense that's not that great. But they have a very strong attack for sure. And that's going to be a good one to watch. I think
Cisco brings up a good question. You know, Inter Miami won the Supporters Shield last year. They got like more points than almost like anyone's ever gotten. They were insane. And then they get knocked out in like the second round or first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, do you think this is could potentially be a good playoff team? Because at this point, seeing how player teams can like defend against them, if they're up against a team that is comfortable just sitting back and like defending and letting the game come to them, they could have a lot of trouble in a playoff game.
I think when it comes to playoffs in MLS, there's a lot of break between playoffs for some reason. I think I remember that last season where there was like a long pause for the teams that were up there because then there's like the play-in and all that. I think San Diego FC with rest, they're a strong team.
That's
when
fair.
Everyone's healthy, they are at their best. And I think playoffs like that could be probably their like bread and butter. Like this team could potentially make an impact in playoffs, which is weird to say about San Diego soccer teams.
And it's really interesting to see who will be available. Again, just the fitness aspect of it. Like can Chucky Lozano, like
we haven't even talked about the Chucky Lozano.
Haven't even talked about Chucky Lozano on the highlights. It's passed now, but 65th minute, Chucky Lozano goes down in the same area where he went down originally in the first half earlier in the year, and we didn't see him for 4 to 6 weeks. Similar thing happened. Chucky Lozano goes down, non-contact play, immediately gets subbed out. 65th minute.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was
surprised.
Because this is like right before the national break. He had a off day on Wednesday. I think he was playing really well too. He had just gotten an assist.
It's his life. It's been his career. This is Chucky Lozano. He's an injury-prone player. Está hecho de vidrio el compa, and it's fine. When you get the best of Chucky, you get the Chucky that you had over the last couple of weeks. He is one of the highest goal scorers, highest goal contributions in the team, and he's probably played the least amount of games out of all the attacking players still. But this is the Chucky that you're going to get. You're never going to get a full season out of Chucky Lozano, especially with him playing every game. So at the end of the day, this is something that San Diego FC also needs to look into the future potentially surrounding Chucky Lozano. He's a great player when he's healthy, but he gets injured a lot. And that has been his whole career. I don't think anyone should be surprised. I don't think Mikey Vara should be surprised about this. Tyler Heap should not be surprised about this because you knew who Chucky Lozano is when you signed him. I think the hype behind Chucky Lozano has been fair. He's been phenomenal this season.
Yeah.
The fact that he's missed so many games and still has all these goal contributions, he's proving a lot of people wrong. He's proving a lot of us wrong. But again, there's no surprise that he's injured again.
Yeah. I should have had my expectations.
It's okay.
set at a different place. You're right, Chiva, because he has been injury prone. Like it's tough. And I think it's really sad to see for a player that like finally got back to El Tri. Like he worked really hard. It's been like 14 months or something. It's been a while since he's gotten back with the national team, and then have a big chance with this Gold Cup. You're about to have the World Cup in your country. You're gonna have a chance to prove yourself at the Gold Cup. Maybe like play a few games, start a few games, but now he's just probably gonna be sitting in San Diego.
Look,
you feel bad for him, don't you?
I feel like, how do you not feel bad for a player?
There's someone in the Liga MX.
I
He's
do
like
too,
pressing at his little voodoo doll, saying like, "You're not gonna play for Mexico because someone else is gonna get called up instead." Alexis Vega just won a championship. Like he's like, "No, Chucky, juegas en la MLS, yo voy a ganar." So I mean, at the end of the day, like it is what it is for Chucky Lozano.
619. Why is he even going to the Gold Cup? Because they need a third string at least. Like
and they're gonna test stuff out. They always test stuff out
because they need a third string guy. And you know what?
How many times do we say for any national team saying that they take younger players, the players that are good? Oh, it'd be great if we had some experience in here for that locker room. Like, how many times do you hear that? And you hear it all the time. And I think Mexico's at a good point right now. Raul Jimenez is at its like peak level from pre-injury. Do they need him? I don't think so. Would he have benefited the team the way he's been playing with San Diego FC? I think so. Why not have him? You're going to be playing in LA. You're going to be bringing in people. Mexico sells out stadiums, whoever's in that roster anyways. But it would have been nice to have someone from San Diego FC representing in the national team and potentially the World Cup, not for just selfish reasons for us to have a reason to cover Mexico during the World Cup or the Gold Cup. But
yeah, I honestly don't think he's going to play in the World Cup at this point, just simply because of his injury, and that's just tough. It's tough.
Yeah, no, I mean,
he's going to be a correspondent for like Televisa or something like how they
on the advertising.
Like I remember in 2006 when Televisa had Samuel Eto'o out of everybody like in the world, and it blew my mind. Like, what the fuck did they get Samuel Eto'o? 100%. Like, it just blew my mind. Like, wow, like Televisa's big time, guys. Like they got prime Samuel Eto'o. All right, and he's a really good pundit actually. Game continued, guys. After the 65th minute, San Diego
FC came back from injury.
Returns.
81st minute.
Hey, that timeline seemed pretty close.
Oh, it was exactly accurate.
Oh, exactly.
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Oh,
It took him 10
look
weeks.
at that.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
10-week injury. Wow, who reported that?
Anyways.
Good job. Excellent reporting, gentlemen.
Okay.
Excellent reporting.
Excellent recovery for Marcus Vartson as well.
100%. Keep putting the work for that recovery.
Put in a lot of work. We saw him training outside of SDFC training. It's tough to recover from any of these kind of injuries, especially these like weird muscle injuries where you have to like kind of take it slow. And he's able to come back and still look like pretty fit fast. He isn't able to make that final touch there with his head.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to come with time.
Yeah.
Like it's a hard header to make in the first place too, but like just him even being involved.
Wait, that's a great cross from Verhoeven.
Yeah, it was a great cross.
Yeah, 100%. Like Verhoeven is the real deal for sure.
So is Luca Bombino. Like these two kids,
but in varsity,
dude.
you have to score that.
You have to.
Like I don't care if you're coming back from an injury. Like you're a striker, you have to score that. Like
yeah,
it's great. It all worked out. It's all fantastic. Iloski comes in a little bit later and does his thing, but like you have to make that a little harder for him. Like a little. Like I know you're coming back. It's all smiles. It's he had, Mikey Vara said, hey, he had 10 minutes. I gave him 10 minutes. Let's let him roll. But you have to score that. He'll get there.
He even said that himself.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? It's okay. Let me tell you why. Because it's a Skechers. It didn't touch the Skechers on his feet. By the way, Still the only player that I've ever seen officially play with Skechers boots and cleats. But once he gets a touch on the Skechers is when the goals will come more than likely. But
he's been wearing them for a while. So.
Yeah, but apparently he loves Skechers, bro. Like
we asked them back in the day. Like
Skechers are cool. You ever wore Skechers?
It's been weeks. It's been
yeah, dude.
16,
Skechers from
17
Costco
weeks.
are great. I actually got some from GTM. You know what GTM is?
Yeah,
Great store. Game continued. I mean, look, the breakdown of Austin was just happening, and a good play, a no look pass right there by Dreyer, and then slide in by Milani on his first touch. Who? Me? Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then sign me.
He's like, when am I starting?
Yeah.
That's the question. Why am I not starting here? Yeah, no, Milani is just pure class. And, we've seen this from him back in the Orange County days against San Diego Loyal.
Hey, let what do you think about this? The Union Tribune had an article where it said that veteran players being overplayed. The MLS season is long, and the coach should be smart and rest players during away games during the weeks with 2 games. Let me tell you,
they did that. Chucky Lozano didn't play the away game.
They did that
in the middle of the week, and he still got injured.
They did that. Also, be mindful of the source in terms of like when it comes to soccer. Like, I'll tell you right now, when it comes to the tact of knowing soccer, it wouldn't be my first choice. I'm not even saying I'm the first choice or we're the first choice. I hope we're the first choice. But like the tact of knowing like when in soccer somebody should be load managed, it's different from every other sport. It's crazy. Like we saw Trinity Armstrong for the Wave. She was supposed to come in and get a couple minutes in her debut, and she ended up getting 90 seconds in her debut. And that's just the way soccer goes. And that's just like, it's not a hazing thing. It's not like, that's just, they're very methodical and it's very specialized
you
now.
You play when you're needed.
Yeah.
Like that's just how soccer goes. I mean, soccer is very different than every other, I guess every other. I mean, look, you have LeBron James playing every other game in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anyone saying, "Oh, LeBron needs to rest more." Like, there's
LeBron
no like
says
veteran
he wants to rest.
Yeah, like veteran players shouldn't be resting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, and a coach trusts their players. I'm sure Mikey Vadas asks his players, like, "Hey, dude, are you good to play this game? Are you not?" And then you trust your players as you're going. It's not like they're training hardcore on this like 3-game weeks and all that. So
no wonder. Ugh.
Oh wow, does he really? Finally won a trophy.
In any case, second goal comes in. Milani scores it. San Diego FC win 2-0 at home. 5 games undefeated in May at Snapdragon Stadium. I did the math wrong. I presented the math wrong to Mikey Varas. I will not take full blame for that because I checked. I don't know if you saw me. I checked with San Diego FC officials after the match. I'm like, hey, is this the breakdown of points in this May? And I said 25.
Oh, it's 15.
It was wrong. Like
stupid though.
No, because it was told to me, and it was confirmed to me wrong as well. I was wrong, then it was confirmed wrong to me.
7 times 3 is 21.
I know. Look, Chiva, when you're actually out there on every game, it gets tired, and the little noggin, the little hamster gets exhausted in the head sometimes, and just starts crossing
fine.
numbers.
No, I get it. I get it.
Maybe if my boy was out there helping me out, Abe. Okay.
I'm not good at math. That's the reason why I got into
journalist.
Into journalists.
Journalist.
But San Diego FC, either way, win 2-0 in this match.
They get a break, right? Coming up. Like they don't have a regular season match this next weekend, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Tony, you've been killing it with those post-match
apparently
games. People are enjoying that.
I hope so. Apparently, I've annoyed Mikey Varas, according to Abe. You think you told me I annoyed
Tony,
him.
If you watch the Wednesday midweek press conference,
Tony, how many coaches have you not annoyed? You got Casey's Tony fired.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Landon Donovan said your Wi-Fi sucks. You need to pay your Wi-Fi.
Clearly, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Paul Buckle, even at one, I don't know.
Paul
I think
Buckle.
Paul Buckle has left you alone.
I don't think you talked to Paul Buckle much. That's my. But
who did?
I did.
Yeah,
it was
did.
probably just me.
Just
Dude, he was so surprised when I talked to him. I went to the Liga MX Femenil one. They had a game against Angel City at Fullerton. It was literally just me, just like standing there, and they were like behind one of the locker rooms. They set up the thing, and he was like, "Oh, like, Here to talk to me.
Media.
Oh, somebody's here to talk to
Yeah,
me.
and then I talked to him, and then I talked to freaking Kristen Fab, of course. And it was that game ended up going to penalties too. And then
Thank you,
No,
Erratic Genius. I'll take that context. They did lose on Wednesday. You know what? Sure. And on the post-match press conference, I did press them because
you're
I'm
not
like,
a real journalist unless you get into an argument after a loss with the coach of the team. It happens all the time with Mike Schilt. If you watch all these baseball press conferences, it happens all the time. It's completely okay for coaches to be annoyed at you. He even made fun of your math skills to start this press conference, right? Didn't he?
yeah.
He was like, nice math, Tony.
Yeah, no, he joked it with me for the first time in a while.
Wait, did you give him the wrong number?
I
here?
gave him the wrong number. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you said it was the
Play this. I need to
No,
hear
no, no, no,
this.
no. I gave him the wrong numbers because the numbers I had, I spoke to our boy who's doing the post match.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, 5 games undefeated in May, right? Yes. 25 points out of a possible 30, right? Looks at his computer.
I heard you say that.
Clickety clackities on his computer.
That sounds so wrong.
Then he should have looks up to me, says, "Yes, that is right."
Yeah,
25.
they're working
and
they're busy. Click,
Shut up, Tony. Get out of here.
and,
come on.
and I went out on my way and I spoke to head coach Mikey Vadas here for the post-match press conference after 2-0 against Austin FC.
25 points out of a possible 30. Yeah,
Nate Miller's gotten into beef with Tony too, by the way.
We got 30 points in the season, Tony. 25 of them in May.
English, we can start here.
Mikey, you close out May undefeated here at home, 25 out of possible 30 points overall. And
Wait, keep his face.
Keep his face.
Oh man.
He just doesn't want to see me anymore. That's okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, no.
Let's see what he said. What did he say though? I was here, by the way.
can you take us through what your team's gone through, not just this month, but with today's matchup as well?
You're good at math. I had no idea.
No, I'm not. But thank you. Honestly, congrats to him. He took the compliment. He took the compliment.
We are
He's
the
like,
number
we got
one
25
soccer
points.
outlet in San Diego.
No, we're
Tony.
not.
God
No, we're not. You were
was
giving
doing-
bad math like that to
God
the coach.
damn it. Anybody watching us,
Wait.
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Right after Mikey was talking, he's like, "Yeah, no, we got a couple guys under international break. I think like seven or 8." And like
Looks
at the comms and is like 7 or 8, and like everybody's had a tough May. All right, even supporter groups, they've been together for too long. It's like just siblings who are cooped up during COVID. Like they were just kind of like with each other. But anyway, here's Mikey Vadas.
Yeah. I think that what I told the boys was that they were ready. And I got the sensation the last few weeks that the style of play is like really becoming ingrained, not only inside their head, but in their heart and in their blood. And that's a really important step for this to become DNA, because it's all surface level in the beginning, right? And that you see, like, you have to think. But recently, I've noticed that they're playing without thinking. It's just happening. And that one guy leaves and another guy comes in and it keeps going. For me, that's that's the most important thing. And the points are always so important because we're here to win. But the more important thing is that, I think.
And then the way the team reacted after a physical matchup, you saw Luca Lodore get himself a yellow card, but then respond with a goal. What does that say about the team that's being able to come here and defend their home?
Yeah, I mean, we have style of play pillars. One is to be brave. I think the guys are very brave. You can see, even winning the game 1-0, still playing with the goalkeeper. Relentless. We've always pushed the games. We've pushed every single game we've been in without ever giving up. And then you got to have a fighting team spirit. It's the base of everything is your effort and your commitment, not only to your teammates, but to your community, how hard you're going to play, and to not back down from any fight.
This is one of the first games without Jeppe in the midfield. Can you talk about what Alvarado brought to that midfield today?
Yeah, I mean, he's a warrior, always has been. He's a guy who went to Portugal as a young player to test himself, and that takes a lot of bravery. He was with me in the 20s. He helped the country qualify for the Olympics for the first time in 16 years. He came as a training player for that camp and got in because of the injury and ended up playing a lot of minutes. this is the mentality of this guy. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. Wherever he goes, he wins, and he always does it for the best of the team. It's never about him.
And what did it mean to see Marcus get some minutes today?
Yeah, I told him welcome back. I think he's very happy about that, but we're as happy because Marcus is such an important piece from a leadership perspective, but also from his quality. And you can see he almost scored right away. So we knew he was available from 80th minute, and we were going to get him in.
For sure. Head coach Mikey Varas. Check out the full post-match interview with head coach Mikey Varas on Sunday
Your
with the Football.
Your math wasn't mathing, Tony.